Hello everyone, nice to see you again. I'm Cecilia, the product manager of Vinchin. Thank you for joining our webinar today. So since Broadcom has acquired VMware and changed their license policies, we have received lots of inquiries from our users looking for the suitable VMware alternatives and the cross virtual platform migration solutions. So in today's webinar, we will be discussing some common solutions for the VMware alternatives and the appropriate V2V migration solutions for you. And later on, my colleague, the senior solution architect Spring, will demonstrate a step-by-step lab demonstration to show you how to effectively perform the V2V migration by using Vinchin solution. So this will help you to determine if our solution meets your requirement or not. And during the process, if you have any questions, please feel free to type your questions into the Q&A box, and our technical support will answer you as soon as possible. All right, let's dive into the details. Firstly, we have summarized the key points when choosing to migrate from VMware to other platforms. The factors including you need to consider the function, the ease of use, the brand, the cost, and also the after-sale services of the new platform. Specifically, here are the key considerations that can guide you. So the most important point, I think, is to make sure the target platform is compatible with the existing infrastructure. Ensure that the software is aligned with your current hardware and operation system environment. And consider the ease of the integration with your existing system and applications. And another important consideration is to select a platform with the ease of use and the management. It is beneficial to maintain the original user experience with an intuitive learning curve and the streamlined day-to-day management process. Next, you may need to consider the scalability and the performance need of the new platform. Evaluate how well the software can grow with your business, and assess the performance metrics of the new platform, especially for the resource-intensive applications, and evaluate the availability of management tools and the automation features to check whether these functionalities of the new software meet your requirements or not. And next, very important point is the security and the compliance requirements. You can review the security measures and the compliance certificates of the software, ensure it meets your industry-specific security and regulatory needs. And then here are also some detailed considerations which we think are also very necessary for the smoothly virtualization transformation. For example, you need to consider the vendor's reputation and reliability. You can do the research for the vendor's track record in the market and consider the factors like the vendor's stability, the customer service, and their innovation history. And to do the investigation on the level of the support and their documentation availability of the platform. And also, one last point that you can consider is the budget considerations. Compare the cost of the license, the support, and the potential hardware upgrades and the long-term operational costs, including the maintenance and the training time. So here are the considerations for you that you can refer to. And next, I'd like to share with you some of the recently trending alternative virtual platforms of VMware, because we have conducted some desk research before about the customer's potential alternative virtualizations after VMware has changed its license mode, and the results also include the feedbacks that we collected from our customers. So based on the research result, we found that Proxmox has now become the most popular alternative platform and we also observed a growing demand from our customers for the V2V migration demand recently from VMware to Proxmox. And we think the reason for this is because Firstly, it is an open source platform. It is free of use. And second, it includes both virtualization and containers, giving users the flexible options to meet the various requirements. And it is very easy to deploy and easy to use, basically with no learning curve. So we think this might be the biggest advantages for this platform because it greatly saving the user's time and the cost. But here exists one problem is that the platform is lacking of the commercial support. And the second very popular and a favorite alternative is Hyper-V. It has the similar infrastructure with VMware. And for this platform, the working principle is that it leverages the underlying hardware to deliver the high-performance virtualization environment. It supports the dynamic allocation of CPU, the memory, and the storage resources, enabling users to adjust the configuration of the virtual machines based on their needs for the flexible resource management. But however, Hyper-V is primarily optimized for the Windows-based system. Although it supports some Linux distributions, the performance of the guest machines might not be performed as high as those on other virtualizations. And the next frequently asked potential platform is OpenStack. It has a flexible deployment and it allows you to create and manage virtual machines on multiple hypervisors, including VMware ESXi, Hyper-V, VinServer, KVM, and other more platforms. And you can customize the configurations for the actual environment, and it is free of charge because it is a totally open source platform. So there is no license fees, and the company can save a large amount of IT budgets. But here's one main drawback is that it is very difficult to deploy and have the complex network configuration issues. Maybe this is a big challenge to the IT operator. And other virtualizations that our customers mentioned more or less include the Citrix, the Overt platform, the OLVM, and CPNG, and etc. And for this topic, we have summarized a report on this information. So if you are interested in it, you can contact us by email or just leave your email here. We can send you a report about this. Okay, so for the V2V migration solutions, next I'd like to share with you some common methods or solutions on the market. First, here it has a way for the manual virtual disk conversion. Usually, the migration solution for this is to extract the VMDK files from VMware, and by using the third-party tools to write the scripts to transform the VMDK files to the format that is compatible with the target platform. We take the Microsoft Hyper-V as an example here. Then manually transform these VMDK files to the new platform one by one. And the method for this has some limitations, such as the migration can only be performed in one direction, but cannot be reversible. It is not very flexible for users, and the operation process can be very troublesome because the administrator usually cannot do it in batches. Each time the exporting and the format conversion could be a very long process, and this consumes a lot of time and manpower. And second, here are many agent-based migration solutions on the market. It needs to install agent on each guest operation system of the virtual machine, which is also a really troublesome operation process, especially for the environment, for the medium to very large environment. And the agent must have very high compatibility for various virtual machine operating system. So more specifically, the principle for this agent-based migration solution is to do the bare metal recovery for each virtual machine, which is very complicated and cannot be processed and cannot be achieved in batches. And it exists the same problems that the whole installation and the configuration process are both time-consuming and labor-consuming. And sometimes it also have problems that when the migration job is done, the migrated virtual machines on the new platform cannot be functioned well or cannot even open on the new platform because of the incompatibility issues. And this makes all the migration work useless. So based on our customers' pain point, we have concluded users' requirements on the V2V migration solutions. So basically, what customer wants is an easy-to-use solution with efficiency, easy to operate, and easy to management. So the requirements include, firstly, supporting the market mainstream virtualizations, better for the bi-directional migration because then customers can have the flexible choice. And then migrating the process in an agentless way and supports the batch migration and automated job running to cut down the labor cost. And another very important consideration is to seek for, they need to seek for a short business downtime solution. So based on our customers' demand, all these features are included in Vinchin's backup and recovery solution. So please allow me to introduce our solution then. So as you can see, Vinchin's V2V migration solution is in an agentless way. And on the right side of the picture, you can see that we support most of the market mainstream virtualizations bi-directional V2V migration, which means you can perform the migration between any two platforms among these supported virtualizations. And second is our streamlined operation process, which is V2V migration is based on backup and recovery process. The process is simple and easy to understand. Just to follow our intuitive wizard guidance, backup the virtual machines on the original platform and do the restore job to the target platform, just like performing the normal backup and restore job. And during the process, our self-developed VMC technology will automatically deal with the migration process. So there's no need to operate on the virtualizations or any extra configurations and any agent installation during the process. Later on for this process, our colleague Spring will show you a live demonstration so you can have a better understanding. And another point is that Vinchin supports the batch virtual machines backup and migration. This means you can only create one job for running a large amount of virtual machines migrate from one platform to another platform automatically without manual attendance during the whole process. This greatly saves the operator's time. And our solution is applicable for both small to medium-sized company and large enterprises. For example, in the past, we have a customer called Auslink who had the migration needs for about 1,800 virtual machines. And Vinchin helped the company successfully complete the whole migration work. And besides, if you want to reduce the business downtime, we also have the solution. We support the instant V2V restore functionality. Normally, the RTO will be less than 1 minute for establishing an instant recovered virtual machine. And I will explain with you more details about this later on. And one more point I'd like to mention is that in our next new coming version, not so far, we will be released in May. We support AWS, EC2 cloud backup and recovery. So in this version, Vinchin supports the virtual machine cross-platform migration between AWS cloud platform and between cloud platform and virtualizations, which means you can do the virtual machine migration job from the cloud to the virtual virtualization supported by Vinchin. And it is also in bi-directional way as well. And next, let me briefly explain with you how does Vinchin realize the true agentless V2V migration. The core technology we use is called VMCE, the Virtual Machine Cross-Platform Conversion Engine. It is researched and developed by Vinchin. And the basic technical principle here is that when migrating the virtual machines from one platform to another platform, Vinchin backup system will automatically rebuild and transform the virtual machine configuration files and the storage files that would adjust to the target platform, then complete the whole data migration process automatically. Besides, we also support the automatic powering on the migrated virtual machines, allowing for the immediate use of the virtual machines after the migration. And next, I'm going to explain more details about Vinchin's two typical V2V migration application scenarios. The first one is the V2V full virtual machine migration. And here is a picture that you can see clearly shows you the process of how does we do the complete agentless cross-platform migration job. So let's take VMware and Proxmox as an example. You just need to create two jobs. The first one is performing the agentless backup from VMware, and you can do this job through the length-free transmission. In this way, there is no impact on your production area. And then perform the normal restore job by selecting to restore to the new platform for Proxmox. And our built-in VMC technology will automatically transform the virtual machine files to the format that's compatible to the Proxmox platform to achieve the agentless migration. And to help our users to do the effortless migration, we support the batch and automated migration process to help our customers smoothly do the virtualization transformation job. So within this solution, it could largely save the labor's cost and maybe save up to 10 times of the time consuming compared with other solutions. And the second option is the instant V2V migration job for the short business downtime. This scenario is suitable for the clients requiring the emergency and rapid V2V migration of the business critical virtual machines to maintain the business continuity. So let's also take the VMware and Proxmox platform as an example. The working principle here is that Vinchin will create a new virtual machine directly from the backup in a minute to take over the virtual machine from the VMware. Users can directly run the business on this instantly restored virtual machine, and during the runtime of the period, the virtual machine's newly generated data will be written into the cache area, and the original data backups will be remained unmodified. And at this time, both the original backup data and the cache data are inside the Vinchin backup storage. Then during the business off time, you can simply perform the normal migration job to migrate the storage of the instant virtual machine to the production area. So in this way, both the business continuity and the data consistency of the virtual machine can be guaranteed. Okay, so here's a brief summary of Vinchin's solution. As I mentioned before, our solution is a true agentless backup and recovery process for the migration strategy. We support most of the market mainstream bidirectional cross-platform migration and support both the V2V full virtual machines restore function and the instant virtual machine restore application scenarios. And next, please allow me introduce Vinchin's unified data protection solution because during the process of migration and after migration, you may also need the plans for the data protection for the hybrid environment. So except for the migration solution, we also support the all-in-one data protection and disaster recovery solutions. It can protect both of your virtual and physical environment. The virtual machine backup is for Vinchin is an image-based agentless backup solution and compatible with most of the market mainstream virtual platforms, including Microsoft Hyper-V, OpenStack, Proxmox, and more other platforms. And for the physical backup, it supports the agent-based, application-consistent database backup, server backup, file and NAS device backup to protect your entire Windows and Linux server system. The backups of this data can be stored in on-premise storages and can be sent to the remote Vinchin server and also can be archived to the cloud object storages for the disaster recovery needs. And for the different application scenarios, Vinchin also provides with the most suitable solutions for the enterprise users. It can be applicable for both small to medium-sized companies and large enterprises with the data scale to PB level data scale, and for the most cost-effective solutions. So all of the features are integrated in one unified platform with an intuitive web console. It is very easy to deploy and to get started. And lastly, please allow me to give you a brief introduce with you of our new features that will be coming in our next version. Not far, it is in May. So the first new feature we support is the AWS Cloud Backup and Recovery for protecting the instance in AWS. And the second feature we support is we support backup and copy and archive to the cloud for both virtual machine and physical server module. And the third new feature coming is the Exchange server and Exchange online backup and recovery. And next, we also support the server continuous data protection backup for our next version to maintain the RPO and the RTO nearly to zero. And next, here are some other more advanced functionalities that will be updated soon. So if you are interested in more details, please join our next webinar in May, in next month, or you can also search for more detailed information on our official website once it has been launched. So I think that is the part of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Cecilia, for the great presentation. The next part, I will show you the demonstration how Vinchin can do the V2V migration. And let me share my screen. Okay, so I think now you can see is our software Vinchin backup and recovery. And as Cecilia mentioned before, our V2V migration is based on backup and recovery. You back up your virtual machine from the source platform, then just use the backup data to create a restore job to your target platform. Then Vinchin will automatically complete the migration process. It's very easy to operate. Also, it is the agentless way. You don't need to install any agents on each VM. In this way, you can save a lot of time, also save a lot of manpower. And for my demonstration today, I will to show you migrate from VMware to Proxmox. Before I also see someone type in the chat box if we support migrate from VMware to Proxmox. So I will demonstrate this. And as I mentioned before, our migration is based on backup and restore. First thing we need to do is to backup. And for backup, there's two things we need to prepare before. Firstly is add a storage to store your backup data here. And second thing is also add virtual platform, both the original and the target platform. For example, if I want to migrate from VMware to Proxmox, then I add both VMware and Proxmox. After we finish those two things, then we can start to do the backup. So for taking backup job, there are totally 4 visas. Firstly, we choose the virtual machine from the source platform. You can also choose like multiple virtual machine in one backup job. If there's like multiple virtual disks in this virtual machine, you can also exclude specific disk if you don't want to backup. Second step is configure choose the backup destination, where to store your backup data. Then the third step is configure the backup strategy. We have 2 modes. You can backup as a schedule, or you can just take a once-off backup. If you set as a schedule, you can also do like a weekly or monthly full backup with the daily incremental backup. We also have some other features like speed controller to limit the max speed. And here we have the data storage policy, like the duplication compression to reduce the backup data size. Also, we have the data encryption to secure the backup data. In some advanced strategy like speed controller, this is like a bit detector. This is a Vinchin self-developed technology to further reduce the backup data size. For transmission strategy, Vinchin also provide a very flexible option. You can transfer by LAN, or if you have a SAN network, you can also choose SAN network. It will be more faster. In the last step, we take an overview. If there's no problem, we submit this backup job. And this is just basically how we do the backup. After this backup finished, then we can use the backup data to create a restore job to your target platform. Here I already have some existing backup data. I will use it to do the restore. For the migration, we got 2 ways to achieve migration. One is by full VM restore feature. Another is by instance restore feature. The main difference between them is with the full VM restore feature, you can use to do the batch migration, batch VM migration. And for instance restore, you can use for some business critical VM to largely short the possible business downtime. And now I'm showing you is how we do the migration by full VM restore feature. With this feature, you can choose multiple virtual machine in one job, like this. Second step is configure the restore destination. So you can see here, we got all the platform that Vinchin supports listed here, which means I can migrate virtual machines from VMware to any other platform supported by Vinchin. Here I will restore to Proxmox. Before we migrating to the target platform, you can also preset some configuration, like the CPU, the RAM, virtual disk, virtual network. You can also power on this virtual machine. The third step is configure the restore strategy, which is similar as do backup. And then we submit this restore job. Now this restore job already starts. Here you can check the details run log. On the right side is the job summary. Here is the job flow. After this job finished, we can go to Proxmox to check for this virtual machine. So this is the first way migrate by using full VM restore feature. And next, I'm going to show you is migrate by using instance restore feature. Actually, for instance restore, this is designed for this kind of scenarios. Like you got some business critical VM. If unfortunately they are down, in this case, you can use our instance restore to quickly resume business. Normally, the RTO will less than 1 minute. Regarding to the migration scenarios, you can use the instance restore for those business critical VM to largely reduce the possible business downtime. Firstly, we also choose a restore points and then choose the target host. The same as full VM restore, you can preset some configuration before we migrate into target platform. So for instance restore feature, let me just briefly introduce you about the principle. Firstly, it will connect to your target platform and then mount the NFS data store to your target platform. Then creates an instance restore VM by using the NFS data store of Vinchin, of the backup storage, that you can directly run business on the target virtual platform. And the whole process will take less than 1 minute. It's very short time. We can go to Proxmox to check. So here you see this one is we migrate by using full VMware store feature. Let's see if it can work. Yeah, you see you can log in into it. And this one, this is we migrate by using instance restore feature. Also, you can use this one. And one more point I need to mention is because the instance restore feature, it is this instance restore VM, it is using a NFS storage. It's a temporary storage. Then to guarantee the data consistency, again, we need to migrate this instance restore VM to your production environments, like maybe at weekend or at night at the business offline time. For the principle of the migration, there were totally 4 steps. Firstly, connect with the target platform, and then we'll create a migration virtual machine on your target platform. Then the second step is migrate the original backup data to the migration VM. The third step, during the instance restore VM runtime, there will be some new data generated. So the third step is migrate those new generated data to migration VM. And the last step is power off instance restore VM. And during the power off process, there will be some final cache data generated. Then we'll migrate those cache data. Then finally, power on the migration VM. So with those 4 steps, we can guarantee all data will migrate to your production storage to guarantee the data consistency. So just to summarize, for Vinchin, we have 2 ways to achieve the migration. Firstly is migrate by using full VMware store feature. Second is migrate by using instance restore feature. The main difference between them is with the full VMware store feature, you can do batch migration. And for instance restore, you can just do the migration one by one. And this you can use for some business critical VM if it has a very strict RTO requirements. Okay, so I think I have done my demonstration parts.